I absolutely love the party scene here. Everyone is super supportive. When you go into these kind of worlds, you don't hear any kind of drama. Everyone's laughing, having a great time. No one's voting to kick anyone. No one's getting in verbal altercations. Everyone's drinking for the most part, but somehow they keep it under wraps where it's not really a problem. It's just some beautiful echo chamber that I don't understand why it can't exist IRL the way that it does here.
My experiences have been, I guess, incredible and strange and unique. I don't know, it's a very different environment from like partying out at like a club or an event. You're doing it in VR, and what's unique about it is have like all these communities that are like integrated and share like the same love for music and dancing, and you get to experience really cool creativity and like hard work that goes into creating these events and worlds. And it's something you can only experience in VR because it's in this platform, so it's pretty special and it's really fun.
It's very community driven. Like, I'm a musician IRL. I play lots and lots of shows, and it is hard to get people to support in the same way that people do here. Like, if somebody plays on a Tuesday, like if they're a resident DJ somewhere, they build a following. People will show up on those Tuesdays, or like they get an invite or see that ping, they'll show up. The amount of people that I get to entertain now is absolutely astounding. It's crazy to have, like on our new world, it's already got like 1,000 visits, which, that's just visits, but that's crazy because that's 1,000 guests that I've had a chance to entertain and have fun. Give them experience.
We are sliding into a time where not only do we have all sorts of examples of current day DJs that are playing IRL shows coming into VR, and they see these shows that people are partying almost every night in virtual reality, and they're starting to get their hands into this.
Stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming.
Let's fucking go.
Never stop dreaming.
You have a freedom of expression like no other. Like, I would say IRL, you're very limited to what your persona is and things like that. But in the virtual world, you get to be whoever you want to be with freedom of expression and basically no limits to what kind of music you want to play or the worlds that you can play at.
In here, you meet people you would never ever have the opportunity to meet. I have a bunch of Japanese friends I hang and chat with every now and then, and that would never fucking happen. Atcom over at Luxor in the Latino community, I never would have met them. And those are some really genuine people that I really trust and care for.
It's more accessible to be creative in VR than it is in real life. You can't have a world like this in a club in real life. You can't just walk into a club and suddenly you're on a whatever the fuck this is.
Then I would like to argue with you on that.
Yeah.
Authenticity is a very interesting animal in virtual reality. It's a whole different vibe in here. And just as any RP rules go, you come in here and you take out of it what you put into it. And that is, if you're going to come in here and be a popular DJ, you better work. You better work. You better be a popular DJ. And don't complain about it.
I have seen DJs here in VRchat. They should have festival slots instead of just DJing here, because there is a raw talent here. There is an underlying talent that I feel like Maiko overlooked.
Like, okay, they haven't locked it yet. So there's a community area over here this way. A bunch of games. There's a VIP speakeasy here. Then if we go a little bit forward, there's like a movie viewing area up over there. There's like a recording station and a theater. All around the corner, there's a boat you can go on. That's also another like music venue. There's quite a few actually music venues in the world. Beyond just like the main area of Tube. So I started off VRchat in like 2019-ish, but I didn't really dive in and kind of get hooked into the rave scene until about 2020. I started off at Tube when they were doing their crossover, well, I wouldn't say crossover, collaboration with Thrill Seeker, and they had Slushy on board. That was like the most memorable event that I can remember, you know, jumping into the rave scene and being like, this is it. This is what I want to do, you know, this is how I want to like be in VRchat. Oh, there's someone in here.
Oh, hi.
What's up, Nikki?
Hello.
Care if we join you in here?
Hi. Wait,
Come on in.
Yesterday was the first time I've
Oh.
joined
Oh, hi. It's a party.
I enjoyed it, but
I love the creativity, right? The passion of the artist doing it for the love of spinning and playing music. You know, as I said, the creativity not only from the artist though, but also from the world creation side. You know, you can be wherever you want in VRchat. That's the whole thing. Yeah, you still have venues, you know, that try to stick to the physical reality. You know, a lot like Shelter, Tube. But then you have things like Art Club, where it's very sci-fi, or others like Reflect, and just the other clubs out there. Deviate's another really good one. Kaleidosky, where you don't have to stick to the norms. You can do something creative and just totally amazing in terms of a performance when it comes to lighting and effects. Yeah, that's what really draws me in. So that's what I love about it.
Going to clubs on here is something I wouldn't never trade for the world. Like, I've met people that, you know, have helped me through things, and it's just been an experience I never thought I'd be able to come to know. It's always cool meeting new people and becoming friends with them, getting to know them, and then that just that branches off into knowing more people. Like, I get to meet several different like world creators, club owners, that type of stuff, and it's a really cool way to like network like with people and get to know other clubs and become part of their communities. And
I'm just hanging out right now, so we can head somewhere a little quieter if you want to, and we can do an interview like. Be careful, I'm standing up. There's the game room that's pretty quiet. We can do it here, or we can do it elsewhere. So I go by Beeps. That's my username here on VRchat. I am a owner of a DJ event club here in VRchat. We host DJ events. We get people together for parties, drinking, social events, games, all that sort of fun stuff. It's a very like social kind of group that we put together. I have been dealing with pretty severe anxiety since I was a teenager. It got pretty unmanageable shortly after high school, and you know, therapy and medication help, but it's still difficult for me to make myself go out and try to be like in the world. You know, a lot of people say that like cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure therapy helps. I kind of view VRchat as sort of like a exposure therapy light. I have definitely noticed myself, you know, being able to be a lot more social since I started playing VRchat. When the pandemic happened and started in 2020, I hadn't yet started playing the game, and I feel like that was kind of like my lowest point because I was inside all the time. I have a lot of health issues, so it wasn't really safe for me to even risk exposure. So I very much became a recluse, and I still have a really, really hard time making myself want to leave the house because of that fear of exposure.
It's very, very interesting to see, you know, a lot of introverted people finally get the ability to express themselves in a way that they can feel comfortable and safe. And it's just really enjoyable to see people like open up and really be able to communicate clearly rather than just like hide away all day long.
Escaping their day-to-day lives and just coming on here, just having a good time. Doesn't matter what your race, religion, ethnicity is, gives you that opportunity to just put all that stuff in the back of your head and just meet new people.
I think people choose clubs in VR because they don't feel comfortable going to clubs in real life. VRchat tends to have a large collection of socially awkward people. It's just how it is.
One of my concerns with the rave scene is just the like unchecked alcoholism, but that's a very known thing on here. I tend, when I run events and things like that, I'm not one of those people you're going to find yelling cheers every 5 seconds. I hope people aren't drinking as much as I assume they are here, but like the number of people asleep at the end of a rave, just totally zonked out, kind of proves me otherwise.
I've seen the dark side before. I've experienced it before. To give you like a example, when I first started, I wasn't in the right mindset. I started meeting people that weren't that great. I got caught up in that crowd. I ended up doing like a lot of drugs in VR. I was doing them before, but I was doing it in VR, which wasn't a great idea. And I almost lost my job because I kept doing it in VR. And that's just the whole thing with VRchat in general, is it will chew you up and spit you out if you let it. And you gotta know your limits. It's basically a second life. People live in this game. Like, it's not an understatement. There's a whole underbelly of VRchat that nobody knows about.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, bad stuff that can happen in VRchat, but if you're with the right people and, you know, you're not being a piece of shit, like, you can find pretty decent people to hang out with and good friends with.
Well, my name is Scoot, and I manage events through logistics and promotions, and also lead a dance team for Ministry Promotions. What we do is go-go dancing, so if you're willing to have fun, we want you more than someone who has 15 years experience IRL dancing who has a stick up their ear. It can be daunting sometimes going up because there's a lot of hype put on a lot of these events. It's really easy to forget that the VR scene is as small as it actually is because of all the audio link and pretty lights. You meet a lot of people, you get to hear a lot of different types of music. A lot of people are really grateful to see you, so it's fun. There's no arithmetic to it, there's no strategy. It's just if you're available, you go up and dance and you have a good time. And that perpetrates the vibe check that everyone looks for when they have go-go dancers up for a set, is if they're up there having a good time, then, you know, everyone else sees that and they want to have a good time, so they start dancing and all of a sudden the floor becomes more active. And when you see that, it feels really good.
I think the dancers provide the good vibes because you can get cool visuals through BJs. You know, they can always put lasers and they can put different colors, but you can also get the organic side of what is to go to a rave. So you got the DJ who's providing the mixing, you got the VJ who provides the lights, but you also have the dancers who are the one who provides human interaction, you know, expression, motion, flow.
No,
What's
you did, but I
up?
thought they were getting at something
What's
else.
good, buddy? How's it going?
Cheers.
Let's go.
I'm happy that you explained it the same way that I explained it.
Yo, yo, yo.
I'm happy that it was actually the exact
Nice
same.
phone.
Panda's up next. Just gonna throw down a fucking gnarly
Yeah.
set.
Apparently.
This bitch plays some gnarly drum and bass. Like, she makes me look dumb when I play drum and bass, so I'm gonna stop playing that. I'm just gonna go to something else.
Don't say
Yeah,
that.
I'm just
What
gonna
the
play.
fuck?
I'm gonna start playing straight Miley Cyrus for like an hour every night.
The fuck,
I'm gonna hit all the bangers like "You came in like a wreck" and like "Party in the USA."
You know, I have
all
a
of them.
remix of
It's
that.
gonna be sick. No, just the originals. I'm gonna play back to back. I'm not even
I
gonna
have the
blend them.
remix, so when she does the wrecking ball, you have the guy saying, "Shut the fuck up," and it goes to a dubstep drop.
That's it. Of course it does. I treat every event in VRchat as like a real life show. Like if the whole crowd is going off, if the whole fucking world is going off and everybody's going, you get a circle pit going, you get everybody in the row headbanging really hard, like that's gonna naturally boost your energy. I think if you spend enough time in VRchat, I mean, any of us know this, your brain just kind of forgets that you're in VRchat and you're just like, okay, there's 80 people out in the lobby, all very much vibing to what I'm fucking doing, and that like boosts your energy. It's just like in real life, like if I play a show with my band and everybody's sitting at a table drinking beer, like cool, nobody's digging it. But if everybody's up in the front row and throwing down and jumping off the stage and doing dumb shit, like that's kind of what you want, right? Like you want to give the crowd some energy. I guess it's not so much of like me getting the energy from the crowd, it's like, can you energize that crowd and just get everybody going based on literally a song or two or a drop or, you know, a sampler or something. It's awesome. Compared to real life, I mean, you grab a 6-pack or an 8-pack or a bottle of booze and come home and hang out in your living room and not worry about someone spiking your drink or getting in a fight, or you know what I mean? Like it's not that vibe. I guess it's more of the like, hey, all of us are at the club together, there's live music, like let's fucking hang out. And I've met like some of my best homies in this scene.
It's just a really good escape for people. Doesn't matter if you have like depression or anxiety or like family issues or anything like that. All that gets put aside when you step into one of those clubs, because when you're in one of those clubs, you're a part of a community for a time being, to where you can have fun and forget about all that.
I feel like some of the friends that I've met here on VRchat have been some of the realest that I've probably experienced in my time in socializing online. You know, you spend multiple hours a day looking into a box on your head if you've got a VR headset, spending time with people who might be, you know, they could be 10 minutes away from you or they could be across the world from you. There are some people who don't value online relationships in the same way that they might do real life relationships or friendships, and I'd have to sternly disagree. You know, it's not just text on a screen, or you're not just voices playing video games. Like, especially if you've got the VR gear, you can see each other's moving, emoting. There's gestures on avatars that people have created. I think it serves a really good purpose for human connection.
Just literally, I don't know. There's something weird about having like the 3D presence of something that makes it just a lot more intimate. Which is why I think people have these like friendships and bonds that they get on here. Versus like I've played RuneScape for 20 years. I can't tell you how many people I was excited to meet from there.
Let's take it. Just think about it. You want it. Fall in love. You love
Here you go. You want the small dog? Here you go. It cost you 2 head pats.
I don't eat dogs.
It's the same rules. What the fuck? You lied to me.
Let's take it. You think about it. You want it. Fall in love. You love it. You can control it. You make me feel something more stronger. Something that I may never forget. I just want this to be longer. Longer, yeah, longer. Where you are, where you are. Where you go, where you go. Promise I will be there. I will be there.
I have the most utmost respect for all of these club owners. I am not a very organized person by any means. So the idea of running an entire club, you have the staff that's going out, you're reaching out to the DJs, you have the hosts that are there making sure everything is running fine, you have security making sure no one's using unoptimized avatars or causing any riffraff. That's super thanks to the security at all these clubs. And then the owners are always laid back. They're all easygoing and laid back, easy to work with. Yeah, I don't understand how they do it, but much props to them because I know it's a lot of effort. I know it's a lot of effort, and I really can't be more thankful for what they do.
The relationship with other club owners is pretty awesome. You get to meet a lot of people and you network very quickly. If you go to someone's event, they're going to notice it and they're going to come talk to you and be like, hey, either we can collab or like you got to check out this DJ. You got to book him. He's fucking awesome. And then from there, it's just also a lot of collaboration opportunities. So I've actually grown pretty close to my partners, and definitely more of a closer friends group now than I originally was ever anticipating.
A lot of people see like a negative light, but there's tons of beautiful communities and there's tons of very like interesting things to do. So even if you do see some negatives, try to also look at the positives, because there's tons of creators that are bringing like a beautiful environment and even a comical one to the VRchat community. So just like every type of media, there's always going to be that negative and that positive. It's just depends on if you're a half glass empty or full type of person.
I don't really know where it's going to go, but I do know that we're going to see a lot more XR events. We're going to see a lot more Portal events. We're going to see a lot more fundraisers, and we're definitely going to see a lot more sponsored events as VRchat grows, other platforms happen, and we start to see a healthy competition between them.
In an ideal world, in which everything goes well, I think VRchat will be a core part of raving as a whole. There's already DJs that incorporate VR as another means of promoting themselves. So like they have the IRL venues and they're all the IRL gigs, but they also have the VR venues and the VR gigs. And I think that's a pretty cool thing, because okay, maybe my favorite DJ is from the US and I'm European, and maybe I do not get to see them, but maybe they can mix in VR and I can get to experience how it is a rave in that kind of magnitude. I think the future holds very cool stuff, and the thing that VRchat is a community-based social application makes it even better, because that's where the creativity comes, like that's the core of the things that make this whole thing good.
The best way that I could probably convince someone that they should come in and check it out is if, especially if they're a homebody, they don't like going out, or they're really introverted, it's a great way to get out there. Or if you have like bad social anxiety, this is a great example and a great game to get that out, because no one knows who you are, so you can comfortably be yourself. And then on top of all that, it's free. It's all free. The game is free. The DJs are free. You're not paying a cover charge to get into these clubs. It's probably the best of both worlds, if you ask me.
The club scene is really rocking. The club scene here is really cool, and I want people to be part of it. But like, it's the authenticity, and it's very fragile, you know? Don't mess this up, because we only get one shot at this. If we break this, we're gonna have to start all over again.